Hey, sixth graders. We're just kind of Miss Pendleton and I are sorry that we are out today, so we're both gone. So we're gonna make a little video for you guys to watch, so that you're able to work on unit rate. And today we're gonna find better buy. But what we want you to do first is at home, we want to make sure that you've got a note sheet out, a piece of paper, and at school that you have the blue sheet. Okay. So again, at home you're going to need a little notebook piece of paper, and at school you're going to need the blue sheet of paper. Then what you're going to do is make sure that you've got a calculator handy. Okay, so you're able to work and you've got your pencils, so you're ready to go. So take a second, make sure you've got those things. If you don't have them, make sure you talk to the teacher to get the blue sheet. The blue sheet is going to have the squares on it. It's going to say donuts and cinnamon rolls on the front of it. But what I'd like you to do first with the blue sheet is I'd like you to flip it over to the back to the open spot. And I want us to work on our opener. So again, I want you to take a second and I want you to try the opener where it says type 800 words in 12 minutes. And what is the words per minute? So I'm going to scoot ahead so it's a little bigger. So again, try to find the unit rate for 800 words in 12 minutes. So take a second and work on that. Go ahead and pause if you need to, and we'll check our answer in a second. Okay, so you should have written on this, okay? They give us the information that we want. We want words per minute. So on the top, we're going to put words. On the bottom, we're going to put minute. So on the top, we're going to have 800. On the bottom, we're going to have 12. And then remember what it means when we have something on the top and on the bottom. That means that we're going to divide, right? Because we can divide. We're trying to get that bottom number to 1. Okay, and we can divide both by 12, or we just do 800 divided by 12. Because we know 12 divided by 12 is going to give us 1. And then we're going to put minute on that. And then that 800 divided by 12 is going to give us 66.6. That keeps going words per minute. So if you got 66.6 or 66.7 words per minute, you are right on. Now today we're going to use that unit rate or these unit rates to help us decide what is the better buy. So when you go to the store and you want to choose between the generic cereal or the regular cereal, you want to choose between kind of the best hot dogs or what you're going to do if you want to save money, you're going to look and to find the better buy. So would I rather get this or this? Maybe one thing of pop is sold in 12 ounces, one sold in 16 ounces, and the prices are a little different. You can decide which is going to be the better choice or better buy on there. Okay, so we're going to do a couple questions together, and then what we're going to do is we're going to I'm going to flip through a couple questions, and you're going to try those. So go back to the front of your blue sheet or at home. We're going to add a new, just kind of a little new spot and do it on a new piece of paper. For number one, we're going to find unit rates. We want to know if 12 donuts that cost $9 or 5 cinnamon rolls that cost $4 are the better buy. Now, kind of anytime we have money, we love to have that money on the top because that's kind of how we think. So we want to figure out what our money is per donut or the money per cinnamon roll that it costs. So we're going to do the first one. So follow along with me. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to write, we want to find the cost. So we're going to put, for donuts, we're going to put $9 on top. And on the bottom, we're going to put the 12, and we'll make sure that you label that donut. So when we look at those blue sheets, we want to see that you've got those labels on there. Now remember, what we're going to do is we can divide by that bottom number. I'm going to do it 2 ways here, just so you can choose whatever way works best for you. But remember, on that bottom, divide by 12 so we can get for the price per 1 donut. So we get 1 for that 1 donut. And then we do that 9 divided by 12. And 9 divided by 12 is going to give us 75 cents. We got 75 cents on there. I'll put that little dollar. I know my class was bugging me yesterday about that, so I'll give them this. So 75 cents on there per $1 per 1 donut. So make sure that label's on there. Okay, I'm gonna do the other one now, the other kind of way that we had talked about in my class. And we're gonna do the 5 cinnamon rolls that cost $4. We want to set it up the same way. So those are donuts. We're going to set it up the same way. So start with your fraction. $4 over 5 cinnamon. I'm going to just write rolls instead of writing that whole word cinnamon. 5 rolls on there. So we got $4 per 5 rolls. So I'm going to take that $4 and divide it by 5. So it's the top divided by the bottom. And what I'm going to get is I'm going to get 0.8, so 80 cents per roll. Now, I'm going to look at these two. So we kind of wrote it two different ways. We've got 80 cents per roll here, and we've got 75 cents per donut. So which one of these would you rather buy? So take a second to think about it. And on that blue sheet, go ahead and write it on your blue sheet. You can go ahead and pause it here. And then once you write it down and see what he said, I think that donut. So I'm going to buy donuts is the better buy. Okay, nice job. Okay, let's try another one here. So let's go to our next one. We'll do number 2. So we're going to figure out apples or pineapples. So I want you to pause it and see if you can get started. If you think you got it, go ahead and pause it and try this one. If you think you need a little more help, we can do this one. Again, we're trying to find which is the better buy. So we love to put that money on top so we can find the money per item. So we're going to look at 3 pounds of apples that cost $3.93. So we're going to put our cost on top. So $3.93 over 3 pounds of apples. Okay, so $3.93. And then remember, again, just kind of like in our order of operations, this bar really means to divide, so we can do it that way, and we can get it down to 1. So the same way that we were doing before. So $3.93 divided by 3 will give us $1.31. So what does that mean again? So make sure we're writing down what that means. So it's $1.31 per apple. So make sure you write that on there so you've got that labeled. Now, if you don't have that, make sure you've got it. So $1.31 per apple. Now we're going to do the same thing with pineapples. So again, think about that cost on top. So $5.50 over 2 pineapples. We're working on that divide, right? So we can do the top divided by the bottom, because that'll get us to that 1, like we showed that first one. So $5.50 divided by 2. Let's do that. So $5.50 divided by 2, and we get $2.75 per pineapple. I sure hope. So now when we look at this, what do you think is the better deal? Oh, but I spelled pineapple wrong, but we're going to survive with that one. Okay, so on here, we got pineapples or apples. So what's the better deal? So we're looking for which has the lowest price. So the lowest price here is going to be our $1.31 per apple. So the apple is the better buy on this one. So the apple is the better buy. Nice job with those. Now, I'm going to let you get started in the other ones. If you're struggling on these, you want to go back and watch these, all the better buys are going to work that same way, where we're going to have the cost on the top over the number of items. For example, for here, we had our cost of apples, apple cost over number of apples, and then we divided it to get our price per. Make sure every single time, no matter what, you're making sure that you are labeling and writing what you found. So I found $2.75 per apple for this one. I found $1.31 per apple for this one. Right? So we set it up. So cost on top, our number of what we're trying to buy on the bottom, and then we have that deal there. Okay. Nice job, guys. Now, I'm going to show you kind of what our expectations are kind of for the rest of this piece and this period here. Now, right here, you're going to see the need. You're going to need your blue sheet or a notebook paper. You're going to complete the problems in order that are on the video. Okay. What you're going to do is you're going to pause on each problem. You're going to solve the problem on your paper. When you know the better item, write that item in the blank or on your paper. When you're all done, you can see the teacher in the room for extra practice. And again, I'll remind you at the very end of kind of a couple choices on there, what you're working on. So it's a little different from Mr. Pendleton and then my class in there. So I'm going to start giving you those questions, Again, if you're stuck, it's okay to go back and watch the video of kind of how we did the first two questions to kind of help you out. Here's your first one. You're going to see if 3 pieces of pie that cost $6.90 or 9 pieces of cake that cost $16.20 is the better deal. Remember, when finding the better deal, you're going to make sure that the cost is on the top over the number of items, and then make sure that you divide. Okay, so for this one, go ahead and try to find which is better, the pieces of pie or the cake. I really hope the pie is the better deal because those pies look extra delicious. Okay, go ahead and pause and get to work on this one. Okay, when you are finished, you can go ahead and start the video and you'll start the next question. Okay. Here's our next question, question number 4. It says 4 loaves of bread that cost $10 or 5 loaves of banana bread that cost $12.75 each. Okay, one more reminder for this. Remember, when we're trying to find unit rates, we want that cost on top, and then we want that number of items on the bottom. Okay, and don't forget that that means that we're going to divide the top by the bottom. Okay, that's number 4. Go ahead and pause it and get to work on this one. Okay, for number 5, here's our next one. It says there's 6 macaroons that cost $22.44. 5 cake pops that cost $17.50. Go ahead and find what's the better deal. I personally never had a macaron, so a cake pop sounds pretty good. I hope those are the best deal. We'll have to figure out here. Go ahead, take your time, pause it. I'll show you your next one. Okay, for number 6, we're trying to figure out if 5 smoothies that cost $26.45 or 3 frappuccinos that cost $13.35 are going to be the better deal. Again, just a reminder, make sure that you've got your cost over your number of items so you can tell which one is the best deal for one item. I really hope it's the smoothies because they're a little bit healthier, but the frappuccinos cost a little better. Okay, go ahead, pause it. Go ahead and get these a shot. Okay, and now our last one right here for this little activity. So you're going to decide if 5 pounds of gummy bears that cost $39.90 or 4 pounds of gummy worms that cost $19.96 are going to be the better deal. Okay, you can pause it here and try this question. Okay, make sure, again, now that you've done those problems, go back, make sure that you've shown your work for all of them, make sure you've chosen the better deal for each one. And then here is your answer key for which is the better deal for each one of those. So cake, your bread, the cake pops, frappuccinos, and gummy worms are the best deal. So go ahead and put a little star next to those ones you got right. Okay, and then here's your last activity for kind of the remainder of class. You got a little choice here. Now that you've completed the questions from a video, see the teacher in the room for extra practice. They have a little extra sheet. In Miss Pendleton's room, they have a little maze that you'll try each question and try to get to the end of that maze. In my room, they've got a little color the fish or color the picture activity, and that will you'll try a unit rate, and then you'll pick it, and then you'll write the color in there. I do have colors in the room. You can tell the teacher that it's okay to go grab the colors or markers that are in the back room. They're in one of the doors in the very bottom of my back cupboards. Okay, I think it's kind of the middle or closer to the wall. You'll see those. If not, there is also an online practice under the video that you guys just watched to do that. So you can choose either one of those and make sure that you're doing your best today. And if you have any questions, make sure that you're asking the teacher in the room. Yes, thank you. Miss Pendleton and myself are sorry that we're out today. We will do our best to be back tomorrow. Thanks, guys.